Damn, Q. Maybe you did that.
Well, let's get down to it because we already live.
Because I've grown.
We already live.
You heard him, he's already live.
Oh yeah, we've been rolling since we started. All while we sitting here talking, we live.
You're constantly live.
Yeah, it's a live broadcast.
Okay, well, what's up, y'all?
What up, though?
What up, though?
Right. You gotta say what up,
We
though.
do the what up, though.
Right, got to. Send us something sexy. All right, so introduce yourself to the people individually because we know what y'all podcast is called.
So I am Brooklyn Ford from Brooklyn, New York. I'm currently residing in Miami. I'm a filmmaker, producer, screenwriter, multi-hyphenate is what they call us nowadays, right? So I got a lot going on, but I am also the co-host to my esteemed partner, Amelia Ismore.
For sure.
On Something Sexy.
All right.
And I am Amelia Ismore, your host with the most, giving you more than what you bargained for. And I'm a former record executive. I was GM of Rough Rider, president of Rough Rider Lifestyles. Them bikers was my problem. And I'm damn proud of it. And salute to Detroit because when we came with Wink 1100, y'all was heavy. Y'all was heavy.
Appreciate it.
So
we try to be good.
The love for D is real.
No doubt.
I'm also an author. I wrote a book, CEO versus CEO, explain because I love my brothers and I hope to eradicate gender bias in the workforce. Because when I worked with all my brothers, it literally was me and 100 dudes.
I was just gonna say,
and I learned a lot from y'all, and I feel like it really is about communication, not competition. And if we as a collaborative can understand that and understand how you brothers work, we as the nurturers of the world, it'll be more collaborative. And you look at our assets as opposed to our so that's pretty much what I am. And I'm also left the record industry, and now I'm an artist. So I'm doing poetry and all this other stuff, acting. So I'm in her podcast series called Gray Area. And I'm also in 3 other movies.
It's another podcast.
No. It's a web series.
It's a web series. Oh, okay.
What's the name of that web series again? But it's called The Gray Area.
The Gray Area. Gotcha.
Because love is not always black or white. There's always a gray area.
Yeah, for sure. Well, talk about something sexy. How did that start?
Damn.
Okay, there's a story to this.
I think so because you said that we do want to do it.
I don't know why I'm in here. So anyway, because this is incriminating all day. What had happened? If you're going to say it, you got to say it right. What had happened was we were sitting in the car one night out in PA.
Okay.
Getting litty in the city.
Okay.
But we weren't driving. Originally, this show was called Drunken Stupor.
You said drunken what?
I love that stuff.
Drunken Stupor.
Okay.
Because we were so lit in the car. We was like, we are in the Drunken Stupor. So that was the original title of the show. We did it, right? We were up in Franchise Entertainment. We were producing the show. We had amazing guests on the show. And then we got into drama with the people at the studio. Not that we did anything, just sometimes other people have shows, they don't see their show going as well as ours. She's able to pull dag near anybody out of the entertainment industry straight out of her behind. So we had, or anywhere else, but sorry.
Or anybody anywhere else.
No, the reason why I can pull so many people is I'm also a consultant.
You gotta say you're behind. Come on. Let me clarify.
But there's so many people that I've helped their careers along the way that they're really my friends. And so I just be like, yo, I need you because you need me. Yeah, basically. That's what happens.
They started hating on the fact that she was getting top-notch producers, like huge marketing people. Like we just had top-notch people at the studio. Next thing you know, it was sabotage. All right, so we're not gonna hate. So we decided to revamp, step back, and we revamped it. We figured out when we revamped, we wanted to elevate it, right? She loved Drunken Stupor, I loved Drunken Stupor, but I felt like there was a next level And so we decided we were going to take it to the next level, and we came up with Sipping Something Sexy.
And the whole purpose of Sipping Something Sexy is about really fortifying our community. So not only are we talking about Black-owned spirit companies, because we are the #1 consumer. Yet when you go into our liquor stores that's on every other corner, our stuff is not in it. So
crazy,
we felt
right?
like, if you're not the difference, you got to make a difference. And we believe in that. So we felt like this podcast could help that. But on top of that, we're also really focusing on the other diaspora of us. There's so much negative press on the Black experience that we felt like there's some amazing stories out there. So why don't we bring them in? So we had Ilyasa Shabazz, we had Rebecca Moses, we had Marva Allen, who was Human Books, that now has her own independent platform for independent authors called Word E, 3 E's, WRDEE. Amazing women doing amazing work.
Lisa Gertley,
right?
Correspondent.
Melody
Holt. Dr. Melody Holt.
Dr. Melody Holt.
We've had a string of 11 amazing women because we believe in women's empowerment. So our first 11 episodes of Sipping Something Sexy was really uplifting women. Because that's what we do. And it was capped off with Dr. Ilyasa Shabazz, Malcolm's daughter.
Again.
This is my best friend. So here we go. This is from everyone.
So, and then we started using Instagram, but that didn't really work technically. So now we've got a studio in Manhattan. And now we're really focusing on what we want to do. So now we know through the growing pains what we need to do. And so we've got the level up to here now. So.
For me though, like having a podcast studio in Manhattan is just, I don't know, that might be on my bucket list. Like, because like it's a fucking studio in Manhattan. Anything going on. See, we from Detroit.
I understand.
So New York appears to be like it's a big deal.
It is.
Exactly. So we feel like you got a podcast studio in Manhattan. It's crazy to me. Like,
but shout out to Armando.
And shout out to Big French as well. I cannot. Come on. We've got right. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Trackmasters. There's a whole list of people I can shout out right now. We're not going to do that. But yes,
because that's a big deal to me.
Well, thank you. But listen, this ain't no small feat. It ain't the Lions playing them. I'm just saying.
We kicking ass too.
We got movies.
Don't get ourselves on this board.
Right.
Oh yeah,
She go toe to toe. She knows stats and all of that.
Y'all just Russell Wilson.
Right.
You see my face right now. Did you just bring up the Giants that are 0-3 right now? What up, dog?
Shout out to Russell
For
Wilson.
real though.
Hey, maybe y'all got a good quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Jackson Dart about to come out here and do some things.
Next question.
I said, believe neighbors, y'all pretty good, y'all good.
Right. So Sipping Something Sexy. So this is a question he's been asking all night. So we kind of want to know, what was the first drink that y'all actually
How old were you?
William Wolf. Wait, what was the first drink we ever had?
And how old were you when you had that first drink?
You know that one you stole from your auntie. So.
Okay, so I'm gonna be short. I know nothing.
Right.
No, you know what it is. When you're a young kid,
That camera a little bit,
and family. When you're a young kid and family has family functions,
And you get a little.
you're always sneaking a little
For sure.
something. So I guess it was my family. The older women used to do the Kahlua, and
Oh, really?
Okay.
so that was like the first.
That's the first time we heard that.
I played it off like it was coffee.
Yeah.
So they didn't think I was drinking, but I did.
Okay.
How long did that stay a thing? Like, how long did you ever like really drink Kahlua after that?
No.
No, that was just
No, because it was one time that we snuck.
I got you.
But the fear, my parents had a funny discipline problem. Like it was a really great method. If you did something and you got caught,
You had to do
didn't
that
get,
shit.
No, you didn't get in trouble. But the next thing you wanted to do, which might have been 2-3 months later, they go, remember when you took that drink? Yeah, no. So if
Hold it
you
against
just think about what you were doing, so when you got away with it, you didn't want to repeat it.
Right.
Because you might get screwed up later.
Exactly.
What about you?
What about you?
My first drink?
After that,
No, my first drink. My first drink was Boone's Farm Apple.
Oh, damn. My son.
Did you say Mad Dog 2020?
No, that was later.
That was later. You drank that by choice.
That was college days.
Right.
No Mad Dog 2020.
So that was by choice.
I'll follow up by asking, what was your graduation drink? When you felt like you stepped up, you in the big leagues, what was that graduation drink for you?
Thought you was doing it.
So I graduated really early. From college, I was 15, just turned 16.
Damn, hold on.
We're not even gonna go there.
But you said it. You said it. Well, how we got
I
not
skipped
go
a few
there?
times. That's all we're gonna say about
A
that.
few times.
15, turned 16.
That's a little flex right there.
It was a bit of a flex. I was on my way to Harvard, but we had a racial incident at Harvard, and so
No.
And this one is from up there.
Yeah,
Boston me
College.
even rocking with her is a whole weird thing.
Hey.
Red Sox.
Hey.
We ain't gonna say
And
that
shout out
else.
to the Red Sox on Cape Verdean, and they celebrated our 50th anniversary.
So anyway,
Right, I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna let it go. You see, I ain't say that.
but yeah, I was coming in. So I was
21 is so smart, I know everything.
in a
One ear
college
out the other.
obviously adults, right?
Every day,
So
like 25
and we had a bar in the school. We had the Rav Stella. Shout out to John Jay. That nigga thought trying to disown me like y'all don't know me, but shout out to John Jay, college criminal justice. And yeah, we had a bar in the school. So it really. For me, I didn't jump out the window probably till I was 18, but I had definitely had a few tastes. So the graduation drink, I'm going to say, we say from high school to college.
No, I'm saying
Well,
like
no,
the
just
graduation drink where you feel like, no.
Or when I went to the next level.
Yeah, of
Oh, the
licorice.
next level for me when I stopped drinking things like slow gin fizzes and all of that little cute stuff.
Right.
It was a Hennessy Martini.
Okay.
Hennessy Martini. What the hell is a Hennessy Martini?
See, this is why you asked this question.
Because Martini, I thought was just vodka. Like I didn't know.
You can make a gin martini or usually a gin.
Yeah, I know.
I'm tripping. So what's in the? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like it's lime juice. Oh, vermouth is what makes it a.
Correct.
That's
Okay.
what makes it a martini.
Cause I always wondered, like, because it never looked like nothing except like they put an olive in the motherfucker. Like, here you go, Martini.
But 7 is my limit, I promise you that.
Seven is a lot.
It is.
7 is a hell of a lot. 7 is a lot.
Hey, you know your limits.
And I just said,
But
7 is my limit, right?
Your limit ain't till 7 though. You from Brooklyn. You from the old Brooklyn. You from the old Brooklyn.
I am from BK all
No,
day.
for sure.
Do you have any Rough Rider stories you can give us?
Oh my God.
A short story.
What up, that
What
red chick?
story you want to know?
Drinking me, you're gonna pace yourself.
Okay, well, like in what respect?
My man
like,
Calvin, what up, though?
Artists wise.
Go ahead, give it to them, because you know what they want.
Okay.
Gonna give it to you. Gonna give it
Oh
to you.
yeah, I was hoping you said it. I didn't want to say it.
Well, I mean, I think X is probably one of the most misunderstood artists there is. You know, the media really wanted to portray him as one person, but he really was another person. Like when he prayed, it was amazing.
It was serious, yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, but I loved him when he used to teach me about the dog theory. You know what I mean? Like dogs was his life, and he equated dogs to people. And it's funny because like people do emulate their dogs, and dogs do emulate their people, and I'm messed up for life because of it. But I think one of the stories that I will say how he still stays with me. When he passed away, I could have went to the funeral, but I chose not to because I was really heartbroken.
Right.
And so I was on 125th Street hanging with everybody else, pouring out drinks and whatnot. We was just in the cut doing something for him. No, doing something for him.
Right.
And this dog, this black Labrador comes out, right? And there's a group of us. The dog comes straight to me.
Let's go to the next level.
The owner comes out and I'm like, oh, your puppy's so cute. What's the name of your dog? And he goes, X. I was done.
Oh my God.
And that just gives, I lost it.
Right,
That
lost
just
it.
gives you an example of how of an amazing person Earl is. He's still with us. He'll always be with us. I think the other story was this is a funny story.
Okay.
So the Rough Rider anthem, stop, drop, shut it down, open up shop. Okay. So Jay wanted that song, and Watt came to me, and I was like, we do anthems. Like, why would you give away our anthem? So we did it. So then it came time to do the video, and Def Jam decided that they had a certain director. We were like, no, we got final say. So we had Jay Justice do the video, but our video was part of us doing our bikers, and the police in Yonkers knew about it. So we did a covert thing where I was on one set acting like I was the person regulating stuff, and the police were there. Meanwhile, my boys was on the highway. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was funny because we would make them, all right, this time you're going to do a wheelie. And they would do a wheelie. Miss, you know they can't do that. Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. And we dragged that out just so that we could make sure that the
they was over there
video
shooting
was
for real
already
video.
done. So that it wasn't our video if anybody got caught. It was just bikers riding.
First of all, it's crazy that you had to do that, though.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing, that you got to do
But I
that.
mean, there's many ways to skin a cat. And at Rough Rider, we were all about, it's not where you're from, it's where you want to go. It wasn't about gangsterism. That's where people got mixed up. You know what I mean? Because we were showing kids how to flip t-shirts. We were showing people, if you could flip bricks, you can flip records, bro. Like, for real. So any business. And we were showing that enterprise. So, I mean, to me, it's an honor to still be part of that. And I joke with everybody because you won't see me in the documentaries. I was the gun with the silencer on.
I got a serious question. This is me and my cousin argue about this all the time.
got a serious question.
This is serious. No, I'm saying about DMX. So, of course, he 2 platinum albums in the same year. We always argue which album was better. Is Dark Hills Hot or Flesh More Flesh? I say the first one. They're both great, but I get a nod to the first one.
Well, see, I'm partial to the first one.
Okay.
Only because, shout out to DJ Superior. He was the first producer that ever worked with X.
Okay.
Before he got with Dame Grease and Swiss and PK and DJ Shock, right? Because those were our producers. So a lot of the songs that he did were from that era.
Okay.
So I think, what people don't realize about artists' first project, it's usually 7 to 10 years of work.
True, that's
So
true, yeah.
you're picking the epitome of 7 to 10 years of work. So you're not gonna fail.
No.
Not unless you're not an artist.
Now we're going to say this is trash.
You know what I mean? And somebody just gashed you. You know
Shout
what I
out
mean?
to Rhea checking in. She said flesh in my flesh.
Yeah. But I mean, I love both. I love both.
They're both great, but the first one just something different.
It's epic.
I think it's the first one just because, like you said, it was something different. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was at Eastern Michigan, and I guess like the street team was out dropping off singles, and I ain't gonna lie, I thought that shit was trash.
Wow.
And I can't remember what song it was because it wasn't an album out yet.
No.
It was a single. And I was like,
Born
bro,
Loser.
I don't remember. Like, I don't even remember.
That had to be Born Loser.
But I was just like, dog, who is this nigga yelling and shit, barking like this shit trash? And then 5 months later, I'm like, damn, I was wrong.
So I'll tell you a funny story as it relates to that. I was A&R director and A&R administration at G Street Records.
Okay.
And Wad came to me through Domingo, shout out Domingo Padilla, and he's a producer, right? And he said, you need to meet this guy, and I loved it. I brought it to my boss, and he was like, never mind all of that, PM Dawn and Dougie Fresh and everybody else. And I was like, but I loved that he was growling. I loved that he was growling, you know what I'm saying? And it was so weird because then like a couple of years later, my girl Deidre Tate says, I got some people up in Yonkers I need you to meet and do some consulting with. And it happened to be them. So it was destiny for me
I guess
to work
so.
with him.
Yeah.
It was
That's wild though,
destiny.
because I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them haters.
Oh, I
was like, bro, what is
crowd.
this shit?
I love it.
I was. And I wish I could remember like what the single was.
It was
Like, I
Born
don't.
Loser.
It might have been.
Yeah, that was.
And like they played that shit, I was like, cause they was handing out tapes. Like, this how old I am. They handed out tapes. I'm playing that shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm messing with you.
What I do?
What's called?
I bust the tape in. I had the Iowa. What up, my boy? For sure.
No, for sure.
I had the Iowa stereo system. You know what I'm saying? The tape and the 5-disc changer. I ain't had no CDs, though I still had tapes. But whatever. Anyway. But yeah, I heard that shit. I was like, bro, who the fuck is this nigga barking and growling? And you know, for us in the city, like, I ain't gonna lie, New York for us at the time was Wu-Tang. Like, shit, that was it. Like, shit, that was really it.
Wow.
Because we talking about, what, the late 90s, so...
Yeah, but that joint venture era was probably the most exhilarating, exciting era in black music outside of the Motown.
For sure.
Because you gave a whole bunch of brothers final say on what they were doing.
Some sort of control.
And what happened was, that's the reason why the 360 deals came around.
Right.
Because the worst thing you can ever do is give Hustler money. He's gonna learn how to flip it.
Nah, for sure.
And that's what we did, and we were making way more money than the record label.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So they were like,
We gotta shut this
That's why
down.
they was able to. Yeah, that's why they was able to deal with outdoors.
yeah, exactly.
So I gotta ask you, because you're a little bit of Harlem too, right?
Yeah, of course I'm Harlem.
So I gotta ask
I'm
you,
Brooklyn and Harlem.
is my man's representing Harlem effectively right now? Because I'm mad.
Oh my God.
You know who I'm talking about.
Dame is my dog, so I'm not gonna say anything
don't
bad
know.
about
But
my dog.
I don't like the way he been playing himself ever since the Breakfast Club. I've been with him up until this point.
So let me
But-
just clarify something, okay? Because I think people are misunderstanding what Dame is going through. Okay?
Okay.
When you start a company, it's usually a collaborative, right? And Dame was kind of like the brainchild. Biggs was the financier. Jay was the artist.
Gotcha.
Okay? That was the Trinity. You're not supposed to break up that Trinity. And it got broken up.
But the
And it got broken up because we always say at Rough Rider, no, let me just say this. At Rough Rider, we always say you're only as strong as your weakest link. Okay? So the team can never be weak because the chain will break. So if you see a weak link, you're supposed to fortify it. It didn't get fortified there. And let me add one more thing, because a lot of people don't know this jewel.
Okay.
Them boys was getting ready to go public. They were getting ready to do an IPO. They were getting ready to be traded on the stock market. That's when they said, shut this down. So they looked for how they could separate it, and they did.
So I understand all of that. I understand all of that. But that was 20 years ago. I'm talking about I don't like the way he's acting right now.
But that's your but think about it. If that was your legacy, and somebody is trying to change the narrative of your legacy, wouldn't you want to fight? Wouldn't you be angry? Wouldn't you want to attack?
What Charlamagne got to do with his legacy? What do Cameron got to do with his legacy?
I think it's just.
These are the things I'm talking
I
about.
know, but I think it's just the anger. Remember when we were talking off the record before we even knew?
So
that
you're
this
saying
was
he let
on?
the anger get the
It's
best of him?
energy. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you get in that state, it's
Then
hard.
everything just started coming out.
Yes.
Okay, all
And
right.
one thing starts leading on the other, and another thing, and it's like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear
And
that.
so you're hearing his roar more than you're hearing him.
And I agree with you on that. So I'm gonna ask you the question again then. That ain't Harlem shit.
No, but you know what?
Did I lie? That ain't Harlem shit.
No.
And I ain't from Harlem, but I lived there for 2 months.
I will say this.
Please don't play
sometimes,
Everything's on your
I will
face.
say this in response to that. I will say sometimes there's a separation between who you are and where you're from, and I think that's what Damon's dealing with right now. And I'm not gonna say nothing more.
He don't often separate it though.
I'm not gonna say nothing more.
I just think Dame's messed up relationships a little bit. And Jay had to kind of, I'm just guessing, had to separate himself from Dame just to be on bigger things.
I don't know what happened with that shit, but I just don't like the way he acting right now. Like right now, it's getting. If he
said
having
the
a
very
whole problem,
first
stay
album-
off the camera.
If y'all didn't listen, Sean said, I let dead presidents represent me.
Yeah.
Period. And I'm not gonna say nothing more on
We
that.
got you, Jeff.
So sipping something sexy.
Awesome pivot.
So now, obviously, you had some classic people on podcasts before. What's the vision for the podcast now moving forward?
Okay, so the vision for the podcast is to not only taking it national, but to take it global. Right? So if you think, I'm trying to think of 2 people, but I can't even think of 2 people that do it on the level that we're talking about doing it, right?
Nobody's doing what we're doing.
But it's beyond. If you just take the 2 things that we've done already, dealing with women's empowerment and also dealing with black spirit owners, it will evolve beyond black spirit owners. It'll be black business owners. It'll be black whatever owners. Because it's all about uplifting, promoting, and exposing black entrepreneurs. So that's what we're trying to do. Not just here, Europe,
And I look at
everywhere.
And I look to add to that, you know, we always tell people, if you're not a business, you're forever a consumer. Because this is a capitalist society. And so get into the game and play the game. And I think what's going to separate Sipping Something Sexy from everything else is it's an experience.
Gotcha.
It's not just a talk show, it's an experience. So we're taking it to places where you can actually experience what we're saying.
Yeah, for sure. Right from the studios in Manhattan. That's what I'm talking about.
We're starting in Manhattan, but we're going everywhere else.
Oh, all right, my bad.
We're going on the road.
I'm definitely not trying to pigeonhole you to Manhattan. I'm just excited about Manhattan. Like that shit. I don't know why. That's a flex to me. Shit, I don't know. Whenever I see people saying like, because like there in LA is like entertainment hubs. So when people are able to do things in those areas, like it sparks my interest. Like it's a thing for sure. Now it's just 2 of y'all, right? So you got an engineer or like you got a whole little team for that. Okay.
But we didn't bring our team because we were here. So
For sure.
But we made the conscious decision moving forward. We're always going to bring our team.
Now this is not the first time you've been to Detroit, is it? Or
No, not really. This is the second time for both of us.
oh, okay. All right. So I was gonna say how was the experience? Man?
I love Detroit. I love the team.
Oh no, y'all heard already. I turned up last night.
We turned up.
You already know what it is, yeah, for sure.
We had a ball.
Bananas. It was bananas.
no
Like
doubt.
our thing so far in our travels was like, oh my God, Chicago was the shit. We drove.
Yeah.
We drove my truck to Chicago.
And she had a book
Oh my
signing.
God, I had a book signing. So we went and it was phenomenal. I was like, I don't know what Detroit is going to be like.
Baby.
That's how it is.
A time was had.
I'm glad
I
y'all
gotta
enjoyed
say,
y'all.
what it do?
What up, though?
What up, though? There you go.
So yeah, this has been a great experience.
It's been a great experience.
It's also taught us some things about patience and dealing with minor, what you think is a setback, and how you got to be able to pivot and transition and segue into the next very thing, right? So it's been, before I got on the plane, lost my bank card. Damn ain't even a word. There's a whole bunch of other words besides damn I was standing on the curb. And I just started, like my mind was racing. I've traveled all over the world. I've been to mostly every continent. And I have never lost my bank card.
And this is the time.
I get out of an Uber and my bank card fall out. And then the TSA is like, are you traveling by yourself? I'm like, yeah. So they like, you gotta take the bag, go out, get your stuff, come back to TSA. I was like, damn, dude, you just see me come to TSA. And I had 15 minutes to get to my plane was boarding.
So you made it. I'm curious how that even happened though. Like, how did you get all
that? How else did I make that shit?
No, for real.
The Uber dude, I was like, yo, I need you to get back here. Look in your car, see if you got my bank card. He looked, he was like, I have your bank card. I alert everybody at my job. Like, somebody go to the fucking bathroom and see if you got my bank card or not. He was like, we have your bank card. I was like, all right, come, now. Hold on. He went, picked up his passenger and slowly drove back to me. I'm standing there like, volcano. Pino. I'm like, could you get to me? You could throw it out the window, bro. I don't give a shit. Just
Right, you ain't gotta stop.
Don't say that.
I say one, and then
No, we all here talking shit, man.
I'm saying
Like, you can be in the show. We live. Oh, you came by with our VIPs?
I say
I
one.
appreciate you.
Got the card, got on the plane. We did what we did. We are here.
You made it. Grace of God.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Shout out
The
to the Czar,
amazing
babies.
We are here with the strength of him.
I'm gonna say it for the record. If y'all are not here, you're missing out. Because yesterday the collective was amazing. They dropped jewels as far as not only just being a black spirit owner, but also being an entrepreneur.
Oh, the liquid event. You went, okay. I hate I missed it.
Oh my
God, the
listen.
The lessons that you
Impeccable.
It was amazing.
And I'm in business for like 40 years, and I was still standing there taking notes. Like some of the experiences that they shared, and some of the verbiage that they gave us, as far as certain clearances and certain little nuances that you might not think about, they actually brought to the forefront. Shout out to E40 because he was very entertaining.
E40 got a bar. Everything ended.
Yeah, bar.
I was like, did he just rhyme that again?
But you know the Bay is like Detroit cousins, so we slide right in. Yeah, for sure. Now tell the people where they can find your podcast.
Wait a minute, New York is in the building.
We got some more New Yorkers. Come on.
Baby.
What's up?
They from Brooklyn too? Y'all from Brooklyn too?
No, from the Bronx.
From the Bronx? Oh, the BX. Oh, the BX. What up, though?
Y'all came in today? Oh my God.
Queens, BX.
I'm sorry, we're live right now, but don't
Go ahead and get the PBR handles and shit, and then we gonna let y'all get back to what y'all doing.
We're at Sipping Something Sexy on IG, so it's Sipping Something Sexy. Just like it sounds, spell it out all the way on IG. And I am Brooklyn Ford. We're not even gonna go through all of that. But it's Brooke with the E, Lynn with the E, and Ford with the E. I'm actually
I'm your host of the most, so it's very simple. It's my first name, A-M-E-L-I-A, and then is more because I'm more than what you bargained for. So all one word, A-M-E-L-I-A-I-S-M-O-R-E.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for sitting down with us. So look, I'm gonna get nephew to get your information too because he has a podcast too.
Oh, cool.
So that we can do a for real whole interview so we can get some more information together.
And we'll do the same. When we get y'all, we'll put you on our
No doubt. We'll do it, remote because I know y'all ain't always here and we ain't never in New York. So. I'll come to Manhattan, but I ain't coming to record. I'm coming to see all them ladies.
There's plenty of that out there.
I already know. In Brooklyn.
What borough you like? I
like Harlem. I know Harlem not really a borough, but when I was out there, I stayed in Harlem for like 3 months, so I kind of fell in love with it. Now this was way back in the day though. This was like before the towers went down, right? So this 2001. But I love the culture out there. Like even though I will have to say this, people in New York don't have no respect for your private space.
We don't have private space.
And I learned that. And that's the thing.
Everywhere else in the country, we live on top of each other.
For sure. On top of everything, right. Don't leave with that. Alright, for sure, no, you good. Some more New York?
Nobody.
Y'all know about Vanessa Braxton?
Yeah, New York, huh?
Y'all know about Vanessa Braxton?
Oh my God, I ain't never met you in person.
No, you need
I know your name though. Black Mama Doctor.
Listen, when we step up, you need to have this sister sit down.
Oh no, we gonna talk. This is the first black female just. I know who you are. I just ain't never met you.
An ace.
I know your name.
An ace. And
For sure.
a genuine person.
No doubt.
A beautiful spirit and an entrepreneur. She's the CEO.
You ain't on time, man.